Cassie O'Brien calling on Eva Hudson, and it dribbles down the tape. Kentucky gets the first point.
Nice first set there from Cassie O'Brien. Good location, allowed Hudson to go up, take what was there.
Trinity Ward, the true freshman defensive specialist out of Louisville, Kentucky, steps back for the Wildcats. Ava Underwood takes the pass. They go with Finicasa-Paula in the middle. Hudson gets a swing off, a one-handed save from Abby Applegate. Trinity Ward with the dive. Hudson's turn to the back corner.
It's one of her favorite shots, Holly.
Eva Hudson has so many offensive tools, number 7 in white, but her line shot is her money shot. Deep down the line, she disguises it so well.
She was a finalist for the National Player of the Year. That award went to Olivia Babcock at Pitt for the 2nd straight year in a row. Maddie Walk jacking it back to Logan Lednicki. O'Brien relying heavily on Hudson in these first few points. Lizzie Carr got a swing. Stowers tracking, and Cassie O'Brien wins at the net. That's the National Freshman of the Year.
Kentucky's doing a really nice job getting good high digs to the middle of the court, so Cassie O'Brien can set in transition, putting her hitters in good position.
And a service error gives Texas A&M its first point. Now, these two teams have faced off this season. It was back on October 8th. Kentucky won in 4, but talking to Jamie Morrison, I mean, he said, I hesitated to show my team that film because both teams are so different from that last meeting.
Yeah, both teams completely different, and they've grown in so many different ways. This is a totally different match today.
Ava Underwood is going to hand set Logan Lednicki in the court. Molly Tuzzo dives for it. Lednicki off hands, one-handed save by Molly Brzezowicz. Into the middle with Carr. Underwood is there. Emily Helmuth tries to tip into the block, not going to work. Lednicki was looking for line, too wide.
That rally should tell you what we're in store for this afternoon. It's going to be a long one.
Both teams just locked in on hitter coverage, defense. They know the game plan, and they're executing so well. Unforced error by Lednicki gives Kentucky the point.
Another out-of-system swing here for Logan Lednicki. Casa-Paula, an attacking error, a much better start for Kentucky compared to the semifinal on Thursday.
Definitely, they've come out on point, in a rhythm offensively, and then just the little things defensively, ready to dig balls.
Kentucky hitting 300, Texas A&M hitting -200 to start. And blocked by Asia Thigpen. Timeout, Texas A&M. Kentucky is ready for this one.
They don't have an oxygen tank over there like they do in football for as many swings as she takes throughout the course of a match.
That is the A&M we're used to seeing at Finicasa-Paula.
A&M was the best passing team in the SEC, and here they're able to get it to Maddie Walk, and the Finicasa-Paula quick set out of the middle is a deadly one.
Finicasa-Paula has become one of the best middle blockers in the nation. She has a all-around game. Lizzie Carr as Kentucky shows off its middle.
I love that run from Cassie O'Brien. Great job by Molly Tuzzo putting this ball right on top of her head. She can go to a fast gap set to Carr. Really nice movement at the net.
Holly, what's the biggest difference in Kentucky in this set compared to the semifinal?
A quick start. I mean, they've started so slow historically this season, and just a good start in good spots defensively and then passing well so Cassie O'Brien can deliver some nice sets.
Logan Lednicki on the serve for Texas A&M. She was one of 2 players to play with the national team this summer. We're talking about the national team that you would see in the Olympics, that level. That's how good she is. pushing it outside to Emily Helmuth, and Asia Thigpen is being a blocking presence right now.
I listened in on A&M's huddle during that timeout adjustments. He said, out of system, let's get the set a little bit higher. And then he said, I'm going to say this all night long. You do not need to play perfect. I'll say it all night, but you do need to play your game and get into a rhythm.
Asia Thigpen with 2 solo blocks already. The undersized blocker on the right side for Kentucky. They're trying to go after her.
It was a tight set to the net. It would be tough for Asia Thigpen to do anything with that. Thigpen, a player who moved into the opposite position, Katie, not her natural position for Kentucky.
No, but she's such a well-rounded volleyball player. She can pass, she can serve, she's an excellent blocker even at her size. And of course, she's going to show you today how she can attack offensively.
Bryant will run Kennedy Washington in the middle.
I love that Kentucky's going to their middles right now. For sure, the difference since the semifinal is the first contact for Kentucky. Wisconsin put all sorts of pressure on Kentucky, but good things happen when you can put that ball in your setter's hands.
Feels like we're seeing the opposite from these two teams based on what we saw in the first sets of their Thursday night matches. Texas A&M came out of like a shotgun, whereas it took Kentucky a little bit to get going. Now we're seeing the opposite.
So they call Kentucky going up and blocking the set. Blocking substitution for Texas A&M. This is a normal thing for them. Taryn Morris, number 6 in the black jersey, up at the net. They take off Maddie Walk, their setter. They can use Tatum Thomas or Addie Applegate to set. Trying to get a bigger block on Brooklyn DeLay, and she tips around it.
Both Kentucky outside pins are doing a really nice job seeing the block, using the tip, taking some off, right? And they're just throwing it and skirting it over. Those hands there in the middle, they have to be pressed. The net has to be sealed. Right now, the block's not doing that.
Maddie Walk back on the floor, Texas A&M setter, and it's a service error by Brooklyn DeLay.
Maddie Walk has been really good from the service line. Had a bunch of aces in this NCAA tournament.
She's had 7 aces in the last 2 matches, Holly.
Yes, she has. Texas A&M needs to clean up their block. They're such a dominant blocking team. I know they're just feeling that aggressive mindset, but they just need to be more clean with that press over the net sooner.
Agreed, because right now, DeLay and Hudson are having their way with that outside block.
Walk pushing it out to Kendall Stowers.
I love this run from Texas A&M. It's such a fast-paced offense. We told you about it in the open. Look how Maddie Walk's able to hold the middle blocker and then get Stowers in a one-on-one situation. She's got all that court to work with and take that cross-court angle.
When we talked to Craig Skinner, Kentucky's head coach, he said, look, we know Texas A&M is fast. They're faster than when they faced them in October. He thought it would take Kentucky a second to get used to that.
That's a good sign for Kentucky when DeLay can score out of the back row. O'Brien and DeLay were not in a rhythm on that backcourt set when we saw them in the semifinal.
That has been such an important weapon for Kentucky this year, too. Oh, monster serve from O'Brien. It just died after it crossed the net. Cassie O'Brien going to Lizzie Carr. You talk about good serving. Afina Sapala, that's something she's added to her game this year. She leads Texas A&M in aces. That's a middle. Oh, that one resulted in an overpass. That was because of the tough serve. Thigpen tipping over the block. Nobody there.
Asia Thigpen, number 20 in white, has had a fantastic start. 2 solo blocks on the right side, and then a much-needed kill over the big block of Texas A&M.
That's 3 to 4 tips so far that Kentucky's been able to place over top of the block or through the block.
Letnicki hammering that block.
What I will say about Texas A&M as they work themselves into this set, no deficit is too big for them to overcome. We've learned that about this team time and time again.
Ward has been so good from the service line. She's been able to take Kentucky on some good scoring runs by putting pressure on the other side.
Goes at Underwood. Backside Lednicki. 15 swings already for Logan Lednicki. Hudson. Dug up by Applegate. Afenakasapala almost did the splits to dig that ball.
Great coverage by both teams.
Lednicki turning line.
What a dig by Kendall Stowers on that 4-4 to set up Lednicki. Some great defense, but it started here with this coverage from Kasapala. Look at that athleticism and quickness just to get down to keep that ball alive. And then Lednicki is able to tool the block outside the court of play.
Kills and a couple of digs for Logan Lednicki. Outward sails on Stowers. Lednicki was a semifinalist for the National Player of the Year and a second-team All-American this season. That's back-to-back years she's been a second-team All-American. Solid pass from Stowers allows them to go to the middle. Back to Lednicki. Do it again.
The block presence of the Aggies right now is forcing Kentucky to tip. And Texas A&M has a player waiting for it. So then they're able to connect on that quick back set to Lednicki. And that's really when the Aggies start rolling.
Comes off her hand at 42 miles per hour down the line. The finger wag from Lednicki.
Early in set one, Texas A&M's block was non-existent, and Kentucky was having their way with it offensively. That's why you're seeing so many efficient kills. Now you're starting to see Texas A&M's block pick up at the end of set one and here early in set two.
Oh my goodness!
Unbelievable serve.
All season long, Afenakasapala has been crushing balls from the service line, so this is no different. She gets back there and unleashes that heavy arm, and it gets away from delay.
It's her 8th ace in the tournament. Thick pin, got it.
Great movement there from Molly Tuzzo to control that serve, put the ball on her setter's head, and Thick Pin does a nice job finding high hands.
Texas A&M asking for a towel on their side of the floor. And to think, going back just to serving for Kasapala, that's an area that she added this year. They've really used.
Incredible.
It's like a secret weapon almost. Morgan Perkins exploding out of the middle.
Jamie Morrison in this postseason has said, look, Maddie Walk's the most underrated setter in the country, and you can see why. She's at the 3-meter line and able to push this gap set to a perfect height and pace so Morgan Perkins can kill that ball.
47 miles per hour on that swing from Perkins. O'Brien on the run, out to Brooklyn, delayed, dug up by Tuzzo. Delay through the block, through that seam.
Brooklyn DeLay loves a quick set. It has to be high enough, but she loves pace going out to that antenna. That allows her to score through the seam.
What's the difference in this set to Brooklyn DeLay compared to Eva Hudson?
Eva Hudson likes a higher ball, still with some good pace outside. Brooklyn DeLay likes it a little bit lower and faster.
DeLay. Blocked. That's Morgan Perkins.
We talk a lot about Afenakasapala and how dynamic she is as a middle blocker, but Morgan Perkins is such a consistent, steady force in the middle. Look at the lateral movement to get to walk, to close, and press over. I love the passion and enthusiasm after in celebration.
Blocking was definitely a focus for her in the offseason. Free ball back to the Kentucky Wildcats. And it sails on Kennedy Washington.
That set needs to be a little higher. I love the idea by Cass higher, and Washington get on top of it. Look at this tight set. Maddie Walk touches it, and that allows Aggies to stay in the rally.
Stowers off hands, dug up by Tuzzo. Eva Hudson back row.
We need to see more of that from Kentucky. Yes, you've got 3 hitters in the front row to go to, but Eva Hudson is lethal out of the back row on this back row set. Look at the power, and she's got one-on-one. She can cut it cross court or go wrist away. She chooses zone 5.
Anytime you could attack out of the middle of the court, it puts a ton of pressure on the blocker in the middle.
They need Hudson right now because Brooklyn DeLay, their other weapon on the outside, is hitting in the negative. Did you see Jamie Morrison to his team?
No setter on the floor for the Aggies. Taryn Morris in to block on the right side for A&M.
Kendall Stowers says, what about a block on the left side?
Jamie Morrison told us his 2 left side blockers are elite, and he trusts them to slow down any.
They'll set up Stowers here inside the court. Going back on the Kentucky side. Eva Hudson out of the back row. Casapala got the block. Point for A&M. They call a back row attack on Kentucky. Madison, for Kendall Stowers, yeah, she's a great athlete, but there's other big athletes in their family too.
Exactly. She's not the only elite. Stowers peaking right now, you guys. Eli Stowers, her brother, is a tight end at Vanderbilt. He just won the 2025 John Mackey Award, and that's presented to the nation's top tight end. Not to mention he led Vanderbilt to its first ever 10-win season. So, like Kendall, Eli is making history as well.
And Eli in the crowd too. He also won the Campbell Trophy, which combines your classroom performance and off-the-field activities with your performance on the football field. Kendall was his biggest cheerleader last season when she wasn't playing. Now he's here cheering her on.
I love it.
You also have to think that growing up in such a competitive household has certainly helped and aided her in her athletic career.
Hudson split that block. Hudson and Brooklyn DeLay leading Kentucky right now, 6 kills apiece. That is not a surprise. They are the power arms for the Cats. Hudson off hands, dug up by Applegate. Lednicki out of the back row. Hudson was looking for a piece of the block, won't get it.
Kentucky is transition setting the ball too tight. I mean, I can count 8 balls where they're not giving Eva Hudson or Brooklyn DeLay enough room to go up and swing around that big block. We call that a trap set.
When you're out of system, you want to leave the ball a foot or 2 off the net. You're already in a position where you just want to recycle the ball at this point, right? Give yourself another chance. But by forcing the ball too tight, you don't do that.
Out of system, meaning the set is going to be predictable. You don't have all 3 attacking options to go to. A&M with its largest lead here in set number 2. They had to come back from down 6 in the first set to win it. Rock tosses it up to Lednicki.
As a setter, when you establish the middle like Texas A&M has done, it allows you to go to the pins and get your hitters one-on-one situations. Washington is late to close, which gives Lednicki all the court to work with.
3-0 run for the Aggies. It's coming over. Athena Casapala.
They need to clean up their passing. They need to clean up their transition setting and allow their hitters to work around this big block by giving them more space off the net.
Aggies on a 4-0 run. Maddie Walk is serving. out of system. Cassie O'Brien has to bump it over to Eva Hudson. Casapala looking for the back corner, too wide.
That out of system set from O'Brien was too far off the net, but I'd rather have that than too tight of a set to the net. It allows you to at least take a roll shot, put the ball in the court of play.
Correct. Texas A&M putting a ton of pressure on Kentucky with their serve right now.
Applegate with the pass in the middle with Casapala on the tip. Hudson had to chase it. Stowers. Felt that one.
Well, Holly, you talked about Kentucky needing to clean up a few things. Head coach Craig Skinner said all that is footwork. We need to get our passing footwork right, our attacking footwork, our blocking footwork, and that's what he pointed to that they need to clean up.
I love that, Madison. That's where it starts, on that first ball contact. Kentucky started this match passing dimes right on top of Cassie O'Brien's head, so it's not like they can't get back to that. Perfect pass. Just a bit of a disconnect there on the set.
O'Brien dishing it up for Hudson, and dug by Underwood. Kendall Stowers out of the back row. Get it.
Starts with the dig from Underwood, taking the heat from Hudson. Look at this dig right here. Even though it's off the net, Maddie Watt can run that transition back to Kendall Stowers.
53 miles per hour coming off of Kendall Stowers' hand, and now she goes back to keep serving. Kentucky has no timeouts in this set. Helmuth got a little chicken wing from Logan Letnicki to keep the rally going.
Everything's going right for Texas A&M. They're playing at such a high level. If you're Kentucky right now, you got to side out and try to gain some momentum to work yourself back into this set, but back into the match beyond.
And it starts with a pass.
A&M on a 7-1 run.
I like the pass. Connection just not there from O'Brien to Carr.
Hudson unloading into that block that ends a 4-0 run by the Aggies.
But the Aggies had a huge block in front of her. Letnicki and Casapala, who've been an incredible blocking duo in this NCAA tournament. Hudson just able to find a way to tool them out of bounds.
But she had a nice high set off the net that allowed her to do so.
Really tight pass. Back over on the Kentucky side. Here comes Hudson. Shush!
Haven't been too many easy swings from Kentucky tonight, but here, a one-on-one, and Hudson's going to score every time.
How important is her fire and passion for Kentucky?
I think Eva Hudson leads this team emotionally, just the way she competes. Everybody described her as fierce.
Pancake by Underwood.
What a defensive play, what an effort to get up under this tip, and her teammates absolutely love it. Take a look at this. She is full-blown in the air to wedge her hand underneath that ball. That is a perfect pancake, baby.
Those are the little plays that can give your team so much momentum.
Craig Skinner challenging.
Kentucky is challenging that the pancake was unsuccessful.
Remember, if they're incorrect in this, this is their last challenge. Now, Kentucky doesn't have any timeouts, so also a chance for them to talk to their team. If any part of the ball hits the court.
After review, the call will be reversed. Point Kentucky, and they will retain their challenge.
I'm just going to stop talking about pancakes from here on out. That's now 2 over the course of the weekend. I thought her full hand was under there. I didn't see the ball hit the floor. And now Texas A&M is starting to see it.
It touches the floor right there. Your full hand has to be under that ball. Ooh, it got loud.
You see Emily Helmuth wave bye-bye after that kill. Bye-bye.
So looking for angle. Brought the power.
Eva Hudson finding ways to score for Kentucky. Now Brooklyn DeLay has to find a rhythm. She's a really important part of this Kentucky offense.
Yeah, she cannot hit zero like she is right now.
Nice up by O'Brien. Great hustle.
Letnicki coming in.
What an angle. On the outside pin, we talk about that shot 4-4, cross court. On the right side pin as a lefty, look at her go 2-2 almost. That is such a sharp angle to hit. She makes it look so easy.
And Maddie Walk gets that ball to Letnicki on the right side so quickly, and then she gets it on her left hand. It's really tough for the block to stop.
Letnicki's got 8 kills, just 1 error, so she's hitting .304. Anything over 300 would be awesome.
Kentucky needs offense out of the middle to free up some space to work through the block on the pins.
Tezo serving for Kentucky. Walk backside to Letnicki. Brooklyn DeLay was waiting.
Important play for Kentucky. Brooklyn DeLay in the semifinal got her way back into the match by digging balls, blocking balls, and then her offense came along. So hopefully that will happen for Brooklyn DeLay of Kentucky.
Helmet. O'Brien goes stick pin. Looking for a line, won't get it.
To your point, Holly, you might not be bringing your best stuff offensively as an attacker. There are so many other ways to impact the match defensively, whether that's in the backcourt or at the net. That was a great block from the service line. So you hope to see some of those pieces lead her to a better offensive performance as this match progresses.
Texas A&M's block is so solid right now.
And Maddie Walk, number 16 in black, getting all of this one. Brooklyn DeLay is letting that ball drop. You can't hit low seam against this Texas A&M team.
DeLay tries again and gets through Maddie Walk's block.
That time, Brooklyn DeLay keeping her swing a little bit higher and really attacking the outside hand of Maddie Walk, the right side blocker.
Maddie Walk's 5'10". You often hear opposing teams talk about, hey, undersized setter, let's try to attack her, let's try to go after her. You can tell that's what DeLay's trying to do in those last 2 swings.
Walk calls on Perkins. Brezowitz with the one-arm dig. Brooklyn DeLay in the middle of the court, tipping too wide. It is set point Texas A&M. A&M with their blocking sub. Taryn Morris up at the net. No setter on the floor. It'll be Tatum Thomas or Addie Applegate. Washington on the slide, no. A&M leads this national championship match 2 sets to none. And just a misset there for Cassie O'Brien. A&M will take the first point of the set.
Cassie O'Brien was trying to go to Lizzie Carr. Lizzie Carr just was not ready for it. They need to be ready at every moment to be an attacker.
Rafina Casapala waiting for the overpass.
Casapala is so quick off the floor. I mean, her hands are on that ball before Kentucky can even respond. Straight down for the A&M point.
Another overpass. This time Casapala took the swing. And then Hudson and Brezowicz, just a miscommunication.
Well, Hudson looked like she was going to try to step into it and attack on that second contact, and unfortunately, there was just a little bit of hesitation there from Brezowicz. You got to iron out some of these communication errors.
Touch on that ball for Eva Hudson, and a point that Kentucky desperately needed.
Eva Hudson trying to fire up her team, bringing the emotion. But the time is now for Kentucky. They need to make the little plays. They need to shift up to that other gear that Craig Skinner's told us about.
Eva Hudson has been such an important addition. She spent 3 seasons at Purdue where she was a 2-time All-American. Now a first-team All-American at Kentucky. Off of the block into the antenna. Aggies will take that point, and now they're up 4-1.
I think Stowers is so good at assessing and processing information. She takes that first swing, gets blocked. They are able to cover out of it, and then she goes right back at that block, but makes a better swing, a craftier swing to score.
Jimmy Morrison told us after the regional, after the win at Nebraska, she put on a master class in attacking, Holly.
And she did, and I love that Maddie Walk goes back-to-back sets, giving Kendall Stowers the opportunity to get a second swing after getting blocked by Big Pen.
Did you see the stare down from
Yes,
Casapala?
Yes. She is so intense, a fierce competitor.
She says she gets in flow state, just locked in. We might be seeing it right now. An ace for the Aggies. That's been somebody that has been important when Kentucky has struggled. Thigpen has been consistent.
Asia Thigpen is undersized but quick on the ball, finds a seam, and she's looking at her teammates going, let's go. Kentucky trying to find anything to move in the right direction.
Thigpen has 4 kills, 2 blocks, and 2 digs.
We've seen in the past Thigpen be a spark that this team desperately needs right now.
Cats string together a couple of points. Service error.
With the Casapala on the back line for the Aggies, Kentucky needs to make sure to control this ball off their platform. It's going to have plenty of heat.
We've seen that today. Dribbler! Give her an ace.
It just feels like everything Texas A&M is touching turns to gold right now.
I agree.
2 aces in the match for Casapala. There's the pass Kentucky needed. They can run Lizzie Carr in the middle.
Strong, efficient run. A pass that allows O'Brien all of her options. We talk about this a lot in volleyball. The middle attack, the efficiency of it is so difficult to try to defend against. Hopefully she can get more of that going with Kennedy Washington in now.
Walk on the move. Has to throw it up to Helmuth. That was her only option. Delay. A swing and a kill, much needed for Brooklyn Delay, who's hitting in the negative.
And we call this bro offense. Molly Tezzo able to get this ball with her hands and keep it in tempo to Brooklyn Delay, who goes high and fast off that outside hand.
She's one of the best bro setters in the country. You know who helped her start honing that skill, training that skill? Back when she was at 17s for Houston Skyline, her head coach, Jamie Morrison.
Who's now the head coach of Texas A&M.
This Aggie team has a big history with the Skyline Volleyball Club. A lot of these players played together and won a national championship at the 15s.
Including Logan Lednicki, who just served that tough ball and got her team a free ball. Helmuth looking to tip around the block too wide. Brezowitz into serve. Kentucky has been playing catch-up this entire set. It's a must-win for the Wildcats. Backside to Lednicki. Heck of a dig by Tuzzo. Helmuth, power tip to the middle of the floor.
Emily Helmuth has become the ball control player, low air on the left side. Stowers has the green light to go for it, but Emily Helmuth has just been playing smart volleyball in that left pin all season long.
Her mom, Erin, played volleyball at Baylor, and she told us her mom was a club coach. She doesn't remember the first time she was in the gym because it's been her whole life.
Cassie O'Brien with the setter dump to the deep corner. Good side out by Kentucky. Can they get some defensive stops?
It's a strong throw. Threading the needle down that line. You often think about power when you're trying to dump as a setter, but placement is just as important.
Perkins in the middle, dug by Tuzzo. Hudson, dug up by Applegate. Too sharp for Stowers. Kentucky digging themselves out of this. They're down 2.
Kendall Stowers has the range to hit that ball, but just misses it wide. And now Kentucky a little bit of a run.
Over.
Eva Hudson.
2-0-2.
Here comes Lednicki. 9 kills for Logan Lednicki.
Defensive transition opportunities. Aggies continue to put pressure, and Logan Lednicki gets a piece of the middle blocker, Kennedy Washington's hand.
Spike speed, 54 miles per hour.
Let's go. And you mentioned Skyline, Holly. Logan Lednicki and Maddie Walk, they've been playing together for a really long time. How much does that help, especially on a big stage like this?
These players know each other, they love each other, they've won together for a long time. Ava Underwood, Morgan Perkins, also a part of that team that won a national championship together.
And you guys, Ava Underwood said, we've been having those experiences and those high pressure matches our entire life since we were teenagers. So to make it even more full circle, in that picture, Jen Woods was their coach, and she's on their bench right now for Texas A&M as well.
Yeah, she's one of their associate head coaches. Got to see the whole journey.
How about the fact that they won a national championship in high school at the club level, which is very difficult to do, and here they are with another opportunity to win together.
They just need to win this set to win a title. Kentucky needs 3 more set wins. They're just focused on getting this one right now. Ooh, that was coming right at us from Logan.
We talk about reversing the flow as a setter. If you watch here, Maddie Walk is running forward. She reverses the flow by jacking this ball back to Logan Lednicki. Makes it really difficult for the middle blocker to track back and get there in time. Excellent decision.
Lednicki now 23 straight matches in double figures, an ace for Texas A&M.
Kendall Stowers, we talk about her offense, but her serve is deadly as well. Texas A&M 15.
Paula with the serve.
Great pass.
Delay, blocked. No, got it up. Lednicki, kill.
Well, you can feel the sense of urgency in the Kentucky huddle. Coach Skinner said, right now, we're under-communicating in chaos when we need to do the opposite of that. And then he said, we need to prioritize siding out passers. I need you to fight to get that pass to the net.
Caught out of the middle. Emily Helmuth.
To Madison's point, through Craig Skinner, both passes of the last 2 points have been great. Kentucky's just having a really hard time scoring against Texas A&M's defense.
So this will be Kentucky's final timeout of the set. Texas A&M is on a 6-1 run. It wasn't the start we were used to seeing from Texas A&M in that match, but they've talked about response all season. How have you seen them respond?
Well, it was a quick response. Kentucky had a strong start. A&M, probably the first 10 points, was a little behind, but then they came back with a vengeance and started rolling. And it starts with their defense. Their block defense put so much pressure on Kentucky, they were able to score.
Something that they have been so proud of all season, that block, and Jamie Morrison has had so much confidence in it. Or they had 9 sweeps in conference play, not only made their first national semifinal appearance, made their first national championship appearance right here.
Well, you wondered how this group was going to fare on this big platform, this big stage, never having made it to a national semifinal. I was so impressed with the way that this group handled Thursday night. They came out and started so fast. They were clicking on all cylinders, not only dominating, but playing with a great sense of joy, Holly. Now, we saw a bit slower of a start. There was some disconnect. They were out of rhythm, but they found it very quickly. And they've just been so impressive throughout the entirety of this NCAA tournament.
Madison, Kentucky's got some work to do, down 8.
And Coach Skinner said we have one last chance here. Now we've got the passes, good passes to the net, but now we need to find ways to score. Swing high, be aggressive.
See if they're able to do that here, Madison.
Hudson takes the pass. O'Brien reversing it back to the right side. Lizzie Carr camping at the net.
Exactly what Craig Skinner wanted. Good pass, swing high hands, heads up play by Lizzie Carr.
Patty walk to Logan Lednicki. Thick pin, they're trusting her right now, and A&M is called in the net.
Back-to-back points for Kentucky, and it starts with Asia Thigpen making things happen. A&M trying to chase and in the net defensively.
That's tough right there. Kentucky had a little momentum, and it puts Texas A&M in the red zone. They're 5 points from a title. Megan Fitch in to serve. Taryn Morris into block.
What a swing.
They are calling on Thigpen big time.
That had some pace to it, my goodness, great contact.
Cassie O'Brien knows who her hot hitter is. Look at Asia Thigpen work through the seam of that block, and that's arm speed.
60 miles per hour coming off her hand.
It's no wonder the ball ricocheted across the court and out of bounds. And just when it seems that Kentucky's taking a step forward here in this third set, they've shot themselves in the foot with back-to-back service errors.
Delay. One of the better swings we've seen from her today.
Definitely, and we've seen Brooklyn Delay get better as the match goes on, but Kentucky's running out of time right now.
Perfect location on the set from Cassie O'Brien.
I think Perkins just floated in the air.
Her vertical is so impressive. The speed, the height of this set from walk is nails. And she's able to go wrist away to zone 5. Look at the height and the contact here to go inside Kennedy Washington.
Perfect pass for Kentucky. Hudson got hands and dropped it in.
Cassie O'Brien finding the tempo on her offense. Last 3 or 4 sets have the pace and the location for Kentucky to score.
They call on Trinity Ward now. Okay, dives. Casapala in the middle. Hudson tracking. Stowers. Blocked by Carr.
Huge close by Lizzie Carr, identifying that that ball was going out to the pin, getting all the way out to O'Brien. That's a point of play that can really create momentum for your team.
Monster blocks create monster momentum.
Stowers. She's up to 9 kills.
Kendall Stowers is so good at attacking the outside hand of the right side blocker, but she can hurt you fast in the seam too.
That's the pop from Eva Hudson they need.
Such a strong 4-to-4 shot. That cross-court angle is so hard to defend because it gets to that spot so quickly.
Maddie walk to Stowers. National championship point, Texas A&M. O'Brien, the bump set to Eva Hudson. And a second championship point coming for the Aggies.
Aggies did exactly what they wanted to do. Aggressive serve, got Kentucky out of system, but Hudson able to score off the block.
Now they need her to go on a run behind the service line. Long championship point number 3. Stowers walk up to Lednicki. Gotta go over. It does. Casapella. Aggies for the very first time are national champions.